In this video, we're going to show you how to quickly create a parts invoice, cash it out, and then process a return when the customer comes back. When you bring up the parts invoicing system, click on a point of sale ticket. The first thing that we suggest you do is search for the customer and get the customer's information in the system if it's not already. You can search for a customer by typing in one of the following. Select whether you want to search by company name, by last name, by phone number, or by their entity, or otherwise also known as the customer number. We're going to do it by last name. And in this case here, we're going to do Smith, and we know the person's first name, so we'll do comma, Gary. We don't need any spaces, keeps it short and sweet. And we hit enter. Now we can see that Gary Smith is in there several times, but we want the number one person that's on the list. So at this point, because number one is highlighted and I can see that it says row 1 down here, all I have to do is hit the enter key. So we're going to try this one more time just to show you quickly. Smith, comma, Gary. And I don't have to do the Gary. I can just do Smith to get all the Smiths, and then I just hit enter. And now I have the customer's information. We can see that this customer is highlighted in red. That means that he owes us a balance, and you can see here we use him as a test customer for demonstration purposes. But Gary Smith owes us $344,000. So his account's highlighted in red because he's on credit hold or maxed out his credit line. Let's go down to the part numbers. Click into the part number field and type the part number in, or scan it with a barcode. You can also use identifiers, and we'll talk about identifiers in more advanced videos, but an identifier is where a part number has multiple parts. Let's say that you purchase a part from 3 different suppliers, and each one of those suppliers has a different part number. And then when you get it in-house, you're going to have your own part number. So you have 4 different part numbers. Well, you can set those 4 different part numbers up on a part, and it's not just limited to 4. You can put as many part numbers as you want. And you can type in any one of those part numbers, and the system will find the correct part with your part number on it. In this case, I've set an identifier up as a 1, and you can do the same, so that I can just type a 1, and I get my connector pump. At that point, there's a second line for me to type another part number in or scan it. But this is all I'm going to do. I'm selling this customer 1 connector amp. So I see here that it's got 1 sold and 1 relieved. And if I'm done at this point, I can just go ahead and hit cash out. If I want to see a little bit more information about that connector, I can click on this line here, and I can see how many we have in stock and what bin they're in if I need to go pull them. So at this point, I am done with this invoice, and I'm just going to go to cash out. And the customer's going to pay me in cash. If you're going to pay me in MasterCard, I just swipe the card through the card reader, which is connected to your computer system, and the computer will do all of the work as far as contacting the merchant. I just have to hit the process. But since I'm not going to take MasterCard, I'm going to click the back button, select cash, and hit enter. Now you see how my payment number 1 has already been taken, and you can see down here it's cash. But if they didn't give me the total in cash and they wanted to write a check for the balance, I can just go to a check here and type something else in. But we're good. The customer gave us the full amount, and I just have to hit print receipt. Or if the customer wants me to email his receipt, I can click email, or I can do both. In this case here, I'm going to print the receipt. Now let's say that customer is coming back to the parts department to return some parts. So we go in and click point of sale again, and we can go in here and say apply return and type in the invoice number that he originally purchased the parts with. So if he's bringing in the receipt in, we just have to type that invoice number in and click OK. And it picks up the customer that you sold the part to and has the part listed in yellow because he is returning the part, so it's going to have a negative sell and a negative relieved, which is going to put that part back into inventory for you. And then at the bottom here, you can see the $39.51 credit that he's going to get. So all we have to do is click Cash Out. And it's going to tell us the balance is less than zero. You must refund the money. So it's just warning us that we have to do a refund here. And so we're going to give him his cash back. And then print his receipt. Now, in some dealerships, the parts person does not take the cash. They have a central cashier, so he retrieves the parts, loads them onto the invoice, and then transmits the invoice over to the cashier. So we clicked on point of sale, and we're going to type in Smith, hit enter, and pulls up Gary. So we're going to grab Gary again here, and we're going to take a different part number. So we've got this here. Now in this case, we're not taking the cash. We're going to send this to the cashier. So all we have to do is close the ticket. So we give him the part, tell him to go over to the cashier. We close the ticket out. Now on the cashier's window, she's got a computer and it looks like this. And what pops up on her computer right here is that invoice that we just closed out. So she opens it up. It takes her right to the cash out screen because she is the cashier and says, okay, you need to pay us $37.63. So he gives us $40 and she gives him $2.37 change return and prints his receipt. We're going to go back up here to the point of sale and show you a few more features. We're going to click in the search box. We'll type in Smith. Since Gary's the first one, we just hit the enter key. We have his information. And we're going to type in our part number for our connector amp. We're going to click on the record selector so we highlight this connector amp. And we're going to look down here and see some of the totals. We have a total on hand of 4,946. We have 288 on order, and we have 6 allocated. Now, allocation is when the parts department may have 10 of them on hand back in the bin, but the service department needs 6 of them for a job they're doing in the service department. So the service department put 6 on the ticket, but they haven't come over and pulled them out of the bin yet. So if a customer came up to you and wanted to purchase 10 of these parts, and you looked down here and you saw that the total allocated was 6, and we'll say for example purposes, total on hand is 10, but 6 have been allocated, it would show you that the total available for sale would only be 4. This is to prevent you from selling the parts that are needed for the service department. Now you might still sell them because you know you can order them and get them in the next day because that job isn't going to be started until the next day. But it gives you a warning not to oversell your parts that have already been allocated to the service department or to another customer for having them on order. If you don't know a part number and you need to look it up, click the Search Parts button. You can click the Find, and it'll preload the box up here of which you can scroll down looking for parts. But there's an easier way. You can click on the description field and then type up in here what you're looking for. In this case, we're going to say pump. And now click the Find, and I'll get every item that has pump somewhere in the description. Let's go ahead and take the SureFlow pump here, and we'll select it. And it puts it down here in our box to be added to our invoice. And then we'll do an adapter pump. And we'll select it. And if I want to go quicker, I can double click and put them down there. So I have 3 different pumps that I want to add to this ticket. So I hit OK. And there are the 3 pumps. Now, if we look at these pumps here, this one has plenty on hand to sell the person 1. This one here, we have a situation though. We have negative on hand available. You have an option in the computer system that will allow you either yes or no to sell into negative quantities. But let's say the customer wants us to order that adapter pump. The first thing you're going to do is take a deposit on that if it's a special order. So you click the deposit button, and the price of this adapter pump, we're going to say is going to be $100. So we're going to take a $100 deposit from them, and we'll cash it out. So it's cash, enter, and we print the receipt. Now down here on this ticket, you see you have a $100 deposit. That's going to work on for this connector. Let's go ahead and put a price on this part of $100. That's what we're going to sell it to them for. So we've been paid in full for this part with that deposit. Now I need to order the parts. So I can click the order button. In this case here, depending on if I have permission or not, I can select these parts that I need to order, and I can say place it directly on a purchase order and transmit it to the distributor who's going to ship those parts to us. Or I can place it on an order list, which is a batch order that at the end of the day, the parts ordering person will go through and start to create the POs. That's based on your security clearances and what the internal processes are of your dealership. If I only want to order one of these, like the antifreezer, I can just take the checkbox off for the order. At that point, if the customer wants to go ahead and cash the ticket out, we can cash it out, or we can just close the ticket, or just exit the ticket, and the ticket will be sitting here on our screen waiting for those parts to come back in. And when they come back in, we'll get a notification, and we call the customer up and say, come get your parts. At that point, we just open the ticket back up, hand him the parts, cash the ticket out, and the total ticket is $261, but we already have a $100 deposit, so that's been accounted for. So he will give us $200, and we'll return $38.44 to it. Print the receipt, and you're done.